This is about what the labor movement is struggling with, which is that the bosses do none of the work and then reap all the benefits, and then the people who are actually doing the work aren't getting a living wage.
We are joined by comedians extraordinaire DJ Lewis and Drew Morgan. Folks, welcome to the program. Appreciate it. Really excited to be talking to y'all.
Hey. Great to see you.
It is good to see you. Now, DJ, I have your Twitter handle so I can tag you in this tweet. But DJ, I can't remember yours. It's like goat something, isn't it?
It was something. I'm not on the Twitters no more. It was good.
Okay. Wait, I'm not either. What do you got for me?
Oh,
Gravy
Go
Baby
Daddy.
Pop.
Go Daddy.
Oh, that's me and DJ's podcast. That's both of us technically. So tag that.
Yeah.
Okay. There we go.
Hell yeah.
All right. So, DJ Lewis, Drew Morgan, really excited to be talking to y'all again. It's been too long. Big fan of y'all's work. And
Big fan of Diamond Drew Morgan.
That's right. Oh, we should have. Why didn't we pull? I forgot to pull that clip. We were talking about pulling that clip, and we didn't. Well,
I forgot to wear the get up. I was going to do the whole outfit and tell you guys I was suing you. And then I was just singing out with my baby and forgot.
I do dig the shirt, though.
Yeah, man. I got this from some friends of mine.
Fucking A. That's what I'm talking about. Love to see it. Got the classic merch going on.
Is this old now? You guys got a new one? Is that why this is classic?
Yeah, that's the classic merch. That's vintage merch. Limited run.
That's right.
Limited edition. So you're in a special club, Drew.
It smells vintage. I blame that probably on the milk my baby spat on it earlier. But
oh, that's right. You do
my baby saw the word boss. Yeah, saw the word boss. Immediately vomited. That's what my baby did.
That's what's up. That's my kind of baby. And congratulations on fatherhood. Welcome to the club. I hope it's going well for you.
It is. You know, I've been talking about it on stage and everyone claps. I'm like, I'm a new dad. Everyone claps. That's very surreal. I feel like they should clap later. You know, it's like so far I've been just here. You know what I mean? Like this baby's alive, I guess, but the mom did all that. You know what I mean? I feel like we should clap for old dads. That's what I'm getting at.
You know, people don't really give men enough credit because I think it's really pretty even because, you know, they have to go through all that pain and then we have to put up with them, right?
That's fair. I like this podcast. This is what the Valley Labor Report has become since I was on it last. You know who isn't getting enough credit? The men.
That's right.
I love it. I'm in, dude. And to tell you another thing,
I disavow.
Here's one for you.
I disavow.
You guys want a hot take in that regard? Is I do think young fathers are more impressive than young mothers because Andy has one move: boobs. And her boobs work 95% of the time, she puts a titty in that boy's mouth and he's good. That other 5% of the time, she literally doesn't know what to do. I'm the guy, sans boob, who has all the moves. I'm the guy, sans boobies, who knows how to get this boy to sleep when he's not just wanting a titty in his mouth. So I you know what? I've come around. I'm on your team. Just like you said on your podcast, Valley Labor Report, right here, folks. Men have it harder.
That's right. I don't even know why that's a controversial statement. I mean, this is 2023. Men are oppressed. You know, women have it so good. They're going to college more than we are.
It's all time, boys.
That's right. That's right. We got to rise back up.
I don't know what the hell he's talking about. He's on like 29 hours, 30 hours straight. I disavow.
I'm so proud of you. You're doing so good. I've been watching you. Dude, this is great. You're doing great. You're doing great.
DJ, I appreciate the love, man. You've been sharing our shit. Like, you've been showing the love all week. Really appreciate it.
Love you. Yeah, no problem. No problem. Yeah, proud to be a part of it. It's always weird when you see all these guests, like you got Max Alvarez and like you just saw Hayden and we see like Kim Kelly, like all these people, and then it's like, all right, dum time. Y'all ready? What are we doing? Let the dum-dums in. It's like feel very very I don't know, out of place. But hey, there is a place for it, and that's really great. And that's one of the great things about what we found in meeting you guys and doing mutual aid work is that there is a place for the dum-dums, for us, for the old dum-dum box to be in, and we found a very good place in there, like bringers of joy. Doing the I will never forget. Well, that show, the one that we did in Brookwood was phenomenal. Like Lee Baines, right? Mike Cooley. Mm-hmm. What a great time. But just like being able to meet those people and be able to work through like the mutual aid circuit, I suppose, doing that, direct action. It's really rad, and it's been really rad, and it'll never stop being rad.
There you go.
I agree with all that. This is very funny.
Yeah, I just wanted to say I strongly avow that statement.
He's avowing it. I love a good avow. I agree with that. I do find that the more we do, the more we get asked to do. But that's always like very funny. It's always like, hey man, we saw you guys do comedy shoeless in a field in front of a bunch of minors. Do you want to come help us? We're raising money to give trans people guns. And we're like, sure.
Fire us up.
Yeah, we'll do that.
Hell yeah, brothers.
I love that. Yeah, well, just keep doing the right thing, and we'll keep being asked to do the right thing. So there you go.
I think
keep it up, boys.
Right.
I think those are both great causes, and so you heard while we're here today, we're raising money again for striking workers. This time for UAW members in Florida and BCTGM members in Tennessee, and the UAW Drew was telling me that DJ you're really digging Shawn Fain.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, dude, listen. Even though we're on the different side of the mountain than the coal miners and all that, there is the lore, the Appalachian lore of the Union man, and not just the Blair Mountain shit, but yeah, for sure the Blair Mountain shit and all that stuff, right? It's like just kind of like brought up in your blood that you're seeing this thing. It's a very regal thing, and I would say like. I don't know, man. I've seen a lot of people speak. I've been watching a lot of labor's definitely resurgent. Like there's definitely people who I follow on Instagram who I don't think, man, how do you say it? Like I'm not a part of a union. I'm definitely interested in how labor works and labor works, but I'm in the revolutionary thought and action, man. You know what I mean? Like how can you not be? Not just with Shawn Fain, but like what's it? Sarah, Flying with Sarah. I think
Nelson.
A bunch of people who are now working in this climate, and they're saying, and they're all saying some great stuff. But I think with Shawn Fain, what happened is like just because I keep my ear out on it, and like I'll catch you guys, I'll catch the Working People's podcast and stuff. Like when something happens, like with the railroad, and I don't fucking understand what the fuck? Why is it? Why are we all getting chemicals? You know what I mean?
Right.
Or whatever the thing is. And so of course the UAW strikes like got everybody's attention, got the world's attention, right? And so we start, you start hearing little things here and there, and you're like, oh shit, you know what I mean? Like, okay, this might be about something. Okay, this one. And then next thing you know, you're all right, buddy. Okay, now to tell me, buddy. Yeah, and it was like, and I'll never forget it. I'll never forget it for the rest of my life. It was crazy. It was on on 9/14 for the declaring the strikes. Well, there was this big long pause. In between, like on the Facebook Live, before we went Facebook Live, and like we were like about to kill ourselves because we kept on hearing that fucking theme song that they had playing at the beginning of it, dude. We just wanted to fucking just going mad listening to that fucking song. And then he comes out, man, he came out like a fucking bullet. Blow, dude. And we were like, oh shit, not only is he talking that good shit, but this motherfucker gotta play it. Can I say motherfucker? Oh,
yeah.
Sorry. But y'all get Okay, cool. This motherfucker got a plan. Like, he has got strategy. Like, we are talking about, oh, captain, my captain. And then they come out with the eat the rich shirt.
I was wondering. I was wondering when you was going to let your heart be revealed, DJ. Because, fellas, when you first asked him this question, he started out like, yeah, I like Fain. I like flying with Sarah. I like a few of them. And I was like, all right, when you going to tell these people how you really feel? DJ, I had pulled up DMs to me because I thought you were playing it too cool. I was like, all right, if DJ's going to play it cool, like, oh, I like Fain. I like him. I'm like, well, I'm going to read these. Bro, I would die for Shawn Fain. Bro, Shawn Fain just made me cry. He's the fucking man. Bro, I think I'm in love with Shawn Fain. It's like, nah, dude, don't you play it cool? Like, you're like back here, I'm just interested in what hearing a lot of people have to say.
I'm
like, nah, man,
in the theory
you've
and
been
practice,
hyped. Yeah. Theory and practice of falling in love.
Yeah, well, that was the thing about it, man. It's like I've heard this song before. You know what I'm saying? I've heard the song before, but it's like when you hear Johnny Cash do that fucking Hurt cover for the first time, you're like, oh shit, Johnny. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't heard it like that, Johnny. Why'd you do it to me, Johnny? You know what I mean? That's your song now, cuz. That's your song.
Can I also take us back that DJ was about 7 motherfuckers deep when he asked y'all if he could say it?
Yeah, that's a good flag there,
Love
Drew.
that.
I appreciate that. Before we get too far off of Shawn Fain, DJ, I'm interested in your thoughts on the beard. What are your thoughts on Shawn Fain's new beard?
I love it. You know I do. I was almost going to say something about it. You know all about that beard line. Yes. Grow that immaculate. That motherfucker going to be immaculate. Like Zeus, like fucking from Neptune. You know what I mean? Like that thing.
Yeah.
That thing is going to be body. So, yeah. Yes. I feel about him.
You said something about thought and practice earlier, and that reminded me of one of my favorite quotes from a book that I really liked, Hammer and Hoe. Hammer and Hoe was a book about the history of the Alabama Communist Party. And what's interesting about the Alabama Communist Party is that unlike a lot of other communist parties, which were full of, like yuppie intellectual college people, the Alabama Communist Party was full of a bunch of poor black tenant farmers, right? And so there was an interviewer, there was a biographer interviewing one of the people who was in the leadership of the Communist Party and the Southern Tenant Farmers Union. And I'll let you think about that acronym and how cool that is, the Southern Tenant Farmers Union. And asked him, how did you do? Yeah. How did you do everything that you did during the Depression, as during Jim Crow as a black person? And so he pulled out his drawer, and he had a book written by Lenin next to a bunch of shotgun shells, and he said, "Theory and practice," right there. Theory and practice.
That is rad. That is. Yeah, I mean, like, I wish I talk to a lot of people, of course, like, and being in this realm of things, like, you talk to a lot of people who are like super educated people, and that's cool, but it's also like, man, just like just a fucking the doing it motherfuckers, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, I don't know how to explain it, but just yeah. I wish I knew more about that stuff. Like, when I listen to people talk about the politics, man, it all of a sudden becomes like, and I guess that's the thing about Shawn Fain, is like, I could see the politics and I could see the action. I wasn't hearing somebody saying that something was going to happen or that it was doing it. It's like, I was actually watching it happen in real time. And it was like, okay. Right. And he had a plan. It was fucking rad.
I agree.
Anyway.
We are fans of Shawn Fain over here. Absolutely.
Sure. For sure. Yeah, it's hard not to be. It's hard not to be a fan of the labor movement right now, I think, especially as the more and more that workers, like, it's so out of control. And you need, people talk about like class violence and stuff like that. And like, dude, it's weird, like how getting sick now, like we just had COVID, right? And it felt like, and it still feels like, fuck, there's no way to fuck out of that, because number one, fucking motherfuckers ain't giving no fucking like holiday time or nothing, right? You don't get holiday pay or whatever. So like you're either, the holidays are coming up, so you're either using your PTO. Man, listen to this dumb shit. This motherfucking, the boss of this place, where my wife works, goes into work. Of course, like the biggest dumb fucking idiot in the world, doesn't wear a mask. No, he got COVID. Motherfucker, no, he's sick as a dog, right? But ain't got the sense to fucking stay the fuck at home. You know what I'm saying? But he got to be over on everybody's back, looking, making sure everybody's day sucks bad as fuck. You know what I mean? Get in everybody's fucking way, not wear a mask because he doesn't want to know the client. You don't want the clients to know he's sick. So instead, he just get everybody fucking sick as fuck. Everybody sick as fuck. And then, like, half the fucking place can't goddamn work, right? So like, they're down to like skeleton crew. Well, now they're all fucking upset because I guess whatever fucking or whatever, they're trying to regain, those appointments back and everything. So like, not only are you sick and have to use that time off, but then you have to go back like and get double work. You ain't got no time to get healed. It feels like fucking violence. It feels like fucking violence, man. And I don't know where I was going with that, but it's good to have people who are having strategy. It makes you feel fucking comfortable. It makes you feel better as a worker, as a part of the fucking, as a part of the working part of America, that you're protected, because you know that these people are not going to fucking protect you, that they do not have your fucking interest in heart at all.
Yeah, these aren't hypotheticals, right? Like, it's not like a hypothetical thing of like, well, if this, if that. No, this is life. It's come up for you right now this week. Your wife's out because of her boss just doing whatever the fuck the boss wants. Then when she gets back to work, everything's fucked, and that's why, I mean, dude, that is why people like Fain are obviously, make you feel good when you see them saying the things that need to be said. And then, like you said, DJ, doing the things that need to be done. I feel like it's always odd for me because I don't feel like I'm neither, like I don't think I am the overly educated, but I don't think I'm the overly educated theorizer. And I'm certainly not a part of the blue collar working class or whatever. I'm like this weird entertainment situation and I'm looking at it all, but I see it through that lens. I mean, I see it out here too. Everything in America right now is part of political theater. And that is a hard reality to accept. It sucks that like Bernie Sanders' biggest moment arguably was a meme. Like, this is, what I mean? Like, this is a man who put in time politically, had a lot of great, wonderful political moments, but like his biggest moment was a meme. Yeah. But that is the reality, right? So then when Fain is so good at it, as someone in this business of entertainment, I'm going, okay, good, because we got to have our version of that. We got to. You know what I mean? Like, Donald Trump sucks, but he's hilarious. So, like, we got to have, just as an example, so we've got to have that too. So it is heartening when you're like, there's a big party that's like, fuck political theater, but thank God this guy or gal is good at it, and Fain is good at it.
Right. Somebody's got to play the game, and we want somebody playing the game for us, right? I mean, so
right.
Well,
totally and that was, there were multiple appeals to Trump, right? There was the one appeal that like he's funny as shit in a lot of ways, right? And that's you got to be able to recognize that. But also, one of the reasons he was so funny is because he was beating on all of the people that you hate, right? Like Jeb Bush. It was some of the most fun that I've had watching a television screen has been him absolutely humiliating those idiots on the 2016 debate stage, right? Just being like, oh yeah, your dick's small, right? Like, and I'm gonna be president. Fuck you. That's, I mean, that is just that he was able to do that was pretty freaking crazy. And so it's nice to have somebody doing that with a little bit more class, but still, hitting everybody that we hate and doing it well, and then backing it up with action instead of backing it up by, shitting on us too.
Right.
Yeah, I completely agree. There's nothing better than when Trump comes up with a new nickname for one of his opponents. Because even when they're stupid, they're funny. You know, like I don't know what Ron DeSanctimonious means. I genuinely don't. I have no idea what the joke is, but it's so fucking funny that he's calling this guy who went to Yale, who's trying to pretend to be salt of the earth, that that he's calling him that. But anyway,
Meatball Ron. Meatball Ron is my favorite one. I love the meatball reference.
Meatball Ron is
Meatball.
check out Meatball Ron over here. Anyone who's ever been nerdy knows why that one works, because it's like it's in its simplicity that it's so beautiful. Well, I don't want to heap too many praises on our former president personally, but I guess the point I was trying to make, and I think you guys understood it, of course, is that we're just living a time where you've got to have representation, not just literally, not just a union rep, but in the media, in the algorithm, on social media. And the way that Fain has been able to do that in a way that's fun. I mean, that Eat the Rich shirt, that was shocking to me. I was like, an actual union leader is wearing a shirt that it's clearly ironic, but it does call for violence, and it was right up against the line. And that's where comedy lives. Comedy lives right up against the line. That's why so many comedians cross the line. I mean, that, and a lot of them are assholes. But my point is, like, I got excited about it. I was like, all right, here's a guy who's going to push up against that line, who understands that this shirt will get him on the news. And then the fact that the substance is behind it. Anyway, I'm a huge fan, too. Every time DJ DMs me something else about him, I get excited and go look up what's happened and read about it. Because with the baby, I haven't been paying attention to the news as much lately, but I keep reading about Fain.
Yeah, well,
I will say this too. Also,
no, go ahead.
Oh no, just that they like. I will. So another phenomenon that was with Trump that I think does carry over. It's got to at some point, because okay, I remember when Trump got inaugurated, right? And I was working at this grocery store, and like they were watching it in the back room. And motherfuckers was crying, dog. They was squalling like a baby back there. And they would say this crazy, and it was freaking me out real bad, man. And they were saying, they sent me home early. I sure did. I was raising hell. But they fucking sent me, but like motherfuckers was like, dude, what, it's like he's talking straight to me. And I was like, that dude, you know what I mean? But I ain't gonna lie, man. Dude, around about that third round of fucking Shawn Fain talking, it was like he had me plugged in. Like he was like, DJ, listen, this is what I was like, okay, sorry.
Dude, now we just got to get Taylor Swift on board, man. That's like the final one, and then we're set, dude. You get the Swifties and K-pop. That might change America. That might change the world.
There was at one point somebody said somebody was lip reading Taylor Swift when she was in a football, like she was at a football game for her boyfriend or whatever, and the way that her lips moved, it looked like she said fuck. And somebody on Fox News was like, I can't believe I wouldn't want my son dating somebody with a mouth like that, with a mouth like a Teamster. And so that clip obviously circulated on Twitter, went a little bit viral, and the president of the Teamsters Union quoted it and said something. I can't remember what it was. It was something funny, like everybody wants to date somebody with the mouth of a Teamster or something. You're in good company. I can't remember exactly what it was, and so I went
right on.
So I went to my wife and I was like, Ryan, I think that Taylor Swift is about to blow up. Why, Jake? Well, because the international president of the Brotherhood of Teamsters just mentioned her on Twitter.
She's on her way.
She's on her way. She's on her way.
Dude, I like thinking about you telling her that and her trying to pretend that she knows what that means. Oh yeah, international Teamsters. Yeah, I love their team.
She does know exactly what it means because she's heard it before.
What's
she have a lawsuit with them?
Yeah, no. What's even more pathetic about it was that she knew exactly what I was saying, and she was like, oh, that's really cool, Jake. I'm really happy for you.
Sorry, I wasn't talking about your wife. I'm talking about Taylor. I'm saying it's funny to think about Taylor Swift being told that the International Teamsters president, and her trying to pretend like that means a damn thing to her. Because it's like the Pope could tweet about Taylor Swift and it wouldn't fucking matter, which I know was your joke, but it's just funny to think about her trying to pretend to care, you know?
Yeah, we went to the Taylor Swift movie concert in the theaters and had a good time. She enjoyed it. But yeah, I can't say that I exactly get it, but glad that she had a good time.
Buddy, don't say that. You're gonna lose listeners right now. They'll come for you.
You know, whatever happened to just like an artist is all right. Like, that's fine. Like, I'm not a fan of Jelly Roll. Everybody tells me he's the greatest. I don't get it, but like.
Are you saying you can't, like, if you have that opinion, people don't want to hear it?
I think it's fine, but like people act like I'm just an idiot. They're like, you know, he's
no, you're like, old. That's all. You're just the old guy.
What the hell? Let me be old. Like what?
We are. This is what happens when you're old. People tell you you're an idiot.
Exactly.
That sucks. I don't think you're an idiot, buddy. I think Jelly Roll was great till he started singing. Like that's I used to listen. I saw him cover. He did Project Pat's verse at the 3-6 Mafia show at Bonnaroo, fire. It was fire. But when he gets on there and starts singing about country radio, it's
bro. That dude only did a year in prison. Like, I'm not trying to talk shit or anything, but like, I thought he had did some time, dog.
Because of all his songs about it and all his personality.
You made it your whole personality, dog. Like, somebody made that for you. But like, as a person who's done,
for people who don't know, DJ has been. I hope you don't mind me sharing that. I just don't want people to be like, "What's this guy's problem?" DJ's hitting Jelly Roll with Stolen Valor.
Hilarious.
You know what? Here's the truth about that. I think. It seems to me as an outsider, people who go for a long time can't make it their personality because they need to work hard to put it behind them. If you can speak about it all the time, you know, it's probably because it wasn't that. I'm not suggesting it didn't bother him at all. It's just that he's able to speak about it because, you know, he could put it behind him. I don't know.
Man, if I could tell another story real fast, you just remind me of something. I don't know what I got, but I would say about.
I mean, they got like 38 hours to fill, dog. Tell 2 stories.
I was thinking about like protectors,
DJ.
Workers needing protection. Yeah. Okay, you just reminded me of that. Not only just like when I got out of prison, I went into prison when I was 16 years old. They fucking sent my fucking punk ass for some armed robberies up to like the adult prison off the top, dog. They just sent me straight to the goddamn Thunderdome, and it was shit. All I knew how to do was the shit. All I knew how to do was the shit. All I knew how to do was the bill. But I finally got finally made my way through life. Drug addictions and like you know, that grocery stores, working in the meat department and stuff, man. And like this guy, his name was Jesse James. I swear, I've met a few of them. Y'all probably have too, living in the South. Like, but you know, it was on his driver's license, Jesse James. And man, he had just got out of all kind of trouble, but he was having to go into rehab and having to go to like methadone clinic, man. And so like the dude who was, I guess it was like his cousin or something, was working one part of the grocery store, would have to go pick him up from the methadone clinic, take him into the meat department where this dude would fall asleep at the grinder. Now, listen, I thought he was killing it. Like, you are doing so good, dude. Like, I bet he needs help. Someone needs to help him. You know what I mean? Not just push him into the meat department next to the grinder so he can nod off for the next 2 hours. Like, he needs help, but they don't offer you. They don't want to help you, man. Man, these fucking worthless, dog. They don't give you no kind of help out. They put you out, they grab you, they throw you out in a world with no jobs, with you know, and plenty of drugs, and tell you not to do any drugs and get a job. And it's like, what, dude? And then the next thing you know, you're half asleep in a ground of ground beef. Or
next thing you know, I'm biting into a thumb of Jesse James.
Yeah.
Dude, I mean, yeah, it's definitely so true. It's like they got to pull themselves up by the bootstraps, DJ. You know, we can't.
Oh, that's crazy. It's crazy to think that a person like that it doesn't need like actual help, and just not be told to like, you need to get a job. Like
instead he goes to work for you, where you're laughing at him, be like, "Yo, Jesse James is crushing it back here, y'all."
I just be leaving him back, and I wasn't about to tell nobody. I was just like, "Damn, Jesse gone."
You weren't snitching. You were just observing.
Yeah, right. That's it. Yeah, that was wild. Yeah, but I feel like somebody had to protect it and stood up, you know, helped him through that. You know, I don't know where he's at now. I don't think anything good.
How many votes do I get?
Yeah, right.
I bet I can nail it in 3. Sorry. I'm just talking to my buddy DJ. I forget that we're like on a fundraiser and we're trying to like do a job. I'm just like, God damn, what happened to Jesse James, man?
Hey, 5 seconds. Just wanted to say that this is only possible because of our donors. If you want to see more of this, then consider donating yourself at tvlr.fm/donate.
No. That's why we brought you on. That's why we brought you on.
Yeah, I really do appreciate it, for real, guys. Y'all are making some time on a Saturday afternoon, and you don't have to, so hell yeah.
Yeah, y'all live in, well, Drew lives out in California. He could be doing something real fun right now.
Some Yankee shit.
Yeah.
I could be doing some California Yankee shit. Yeah, man. Well, first of all, I do like California because my baby's here, both of them. But I got to say, I've been pleasantly surprised by the general reaction of the country to the writers and actors strikes. Mm-hmm. I feel like it's real easy for corporate media and right-wing media. It's very easy for the studios to send a blurb out to the media, and then right-wing talking point people and even some Democrats can paint it as like, well, Tom Cruise wants a raise again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know, and then anyone working anywhere is like, well, fuck that. Why would I care about that? When in fact, it is not, you know, Tom Cruise is going to be fine either way. This is about what everybody in America, as far as the labor movement is concerned, is struggling with, which is that the bosses do way little, if none, of the work, and then reap all the benefits. And then the people who are actually doing the fucking work aren't getting not just their fair share. I mean, in Los Angeles, they weren't getting a living wage. I mean, you had writers who would get 2 jobs, 3 jobs working these big, huge Netflix shows, shit you've heard of, shit you've watched, shit that has helped you through a rough time or helped you process something. I'm talking about actual art, not like Welcome to Fuck Dick Island or whatever. I'm talking about actual stories being written. And by the way, the people who work on Fuck Dick Island, they work hard. Like, they deserve a raise too. Fuck Dick Island's probably the most popular show that's ever been made. I'm gonna fuck Dick Island right now. Say I won't. But I'm saying that these people are making art that is like part of American culture now, and then they're going home to an efficiency, trying to raise a kid in it. You know, and people are like, "Oh, artists are selfish. That's why they don't have kids." It's like, no, because until you get to Tom Cruise level, you're living out here like a college student, and while these execs rake it in and then try to give your job to AI. So the fact that America got that, the fact that, and I'll say this, going back to that theater being political now, or politics being theatrical now, a lot of the reason it didn't work, a lot of the reason that kind of studio propaganda didn't work was good people who do have a platform being aware of it. You want to talk about, DJ, you were getting excited at Fain. When Ron Perlman literally threatened to burn someone's house down, like,
Yeah.
That dude's in Marvel movies. Like, he didn't have to do that. But he was like, you start talking like that, that's how people's houses get burned down. I was like, oh, shit, dude. I was like, it's finally on, man. I'm in a union, but my dad wasn't proud of me because he's in the railroad union. Maybe dad will be proud of me if I go burn someone's house down. Let's fucking go, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's just been nice to observe, you know, and I am going out and I've been to marches with both the writers and I performed for the actors, which that was hilarious because I will say this, miners on strike appreciate comedy way more than actors on strike do.
Why is that? Why is that? What's the why would actors not appreciate comedy?
Because an actor's response to almost anyone speaking is, why am I not up there? So I think that's
For sure.
That's my theory. Also, the LA Times did not print any of my quotes, and I think we know why.
Yeah.
Most of them were violent.
Oh, I figured it was anti-Southern bigotry was part of it.
We said the same thing. You and I just said that we expressed the same sentiment. There was a sociological study that I read about probably in college or something. You want to talk about to being like an educated douchebag. There was a sociological study where the study was like at the end of a hallway, but the actual study was as you enter the hallway, the guy who supposedly just got done walks by you, and he's very large and he has on like a wife beater so you can see how big his muscles are. They hired like this like 6'6" guy. That guy would shoulder check everybody. And with like almost 100% of the time, people not from the South were like, oh, sorry. And people from the South were like, what the fuck, dude?
That's hilarious.
That's great. That's great. I'll have to find.
We just roll different.
That's right.
Yeah.
I guess so.
Roll
It's like
better.
you start to be like, man, geographic identification is dumb. And then you leave Appalachia and you're like, nah, we're different.
Yeah, no, there's people who grow up in different cultures. There's definitely different cultures exist, and for better and for worse, I think in both directions. There's some things to take from Southern culture that are far superior to anything the North has ever produced, but also there's a whole lot to be ashamed of from the South.
It's a mixed legacy.
It's a mixed legacy.
It's a mixed bag, to put it
Well,
mildly.
the drive-by truckers have a whole song about that, the Southern thing, and it's like the pride and the shame mixing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, and yeah, in all seriousness, it really is that mixture. And it's like there's so many things we love about the South and the people, but also the things we hate about the South, including sometimes the people and some of the issues that they come with. But we have a dark history, but we also have a history of people coming together and rising up and standing beside one another and fighting for one another, including right here in Alabama. And so to me that's what gives me hope. Even though
Hell yeah.
there's all this bullshit that we deal with and all this division. At the end of the day, there are still some good people out there who are trying to fight the good fight, who are trying to help one another, who believe in solidarity, who want to take care of one another, even if they, are a little bit different from one another. And we can do that shit in Alabama just as well as anybody else. We just got to get it together.
Yeah.
Yeah, I completely agree.
100%.
You want to get real meta with the points that we're making. I just went and checked on YouTube, read some of the comments, and there are some that probably definitely aren't addressed to me. But I was like, is this motherfucker talking shit about me? And so I'm living the Southern thing we were talking about right now. But I also wanted to say that someone in the comments shouted out Diamond Drew Morgan and Bullhorn Bill, his brother. So let's not forget about the most important person in the Diamond Drew universe, Bullhorn Bill.
Yeah.
That's right. The most ruthless of
They got-
brothers.
Is it on?
There you go. There you go. Well, so, Drew told me that you were a farmer, DJ. How's that going?
Man, it's going pretty good. Slow going. This is like our third year. This is our third year homesteading. The first year was in Minnesota, and I guess the first, it doesn't really count. But so it's our second year, and I think we're getting it figured out. I mean, really for me, I'm really into regenerative. I'm not going to be able to say that word, so I'm not going to try again.
We got you.
Type of farm. We love messing with soils. There's a type of farming it's Korean natural farming where it's like dealing with like a lot of different indigenous microbes and stuff like that. Like there's and like building soil for different environments and stuff. It's all real cool. I'm just now getting into it, so I almost started talking about it. And I was going to say, well, that's a great way to prove you're an idiot is to say a bunch of shit you don't really know, kind of. But we've been messing with it, and soil's been super rad. I've been doing another podcast. If anybody's ever listening, of course we got Gravy Baby, and then I do another one called Life, Death, and Dirt with my good friend Rosie, who was a hospice nurse, and we're both really into soil development and things like that, as well as she's very much an anti-capitalist and has worked in the medical field, so she's got like lots of cool stuff that she's been bringing to the table. But yeah, no, just as far as the farming goes, just now learning it, just now starting to learn soil types. Just the seasons are real cool. This is a great place up here in Blue Ridge to be doing that and raising goats and stuff like that. So yeah, it's going real great. Thank you for asking.
DJ, did you just say that and drop your podcast name and then log into YouTube under your podcast name and type hello in the chat?
No, that would be Nurse Rosie.
Oh, that had it. Yeah. That's gonna be Rosie. Okay, no. Yeah. That'd be Rosie.
Yeah, we thought you were pulling some magic tricks.
Dude, that would be right. There's no way. I'm so technologically dumb. Like I keep on thinking about maybe stuff that I would do maybe one day with a computer, but then nope. It never happens. Just never learned phone stuff. No, I got off Twitter. I've never had on a TikTok or nothing like that. I can't handle that. Modern conveniences really don't do anything for my happiness. Never really have. It's that old hillbilly heart. You know what I mean? I know a lot of people get that mixed up. It's like there's a big difference between a redneck and a hillbilly. But not that I want to give that lecture. But it's that hillbilly heart.
Well, no, I can certainly appreciate that as somebody who, I'm not very technologically literate, but I am much too online for my own good, and I don't know enough about soils. So maybe you could, next time you're in Huntsville, you can give me a lesson about soils, and I can teach you about how terrible the online is.
Okay, yeah, absolutely. I mean, we're building dirt out of just bacteria, a little bit of rice, and growing bacteria in rice, and it's crazy. And then building dirt and building soil from there. It's the stuff that these people are doing, dude. We no doubt about it. World hunger could go 2050, no problem. We could fucking do it if we can do it.
Well, that sounds like some stuff that you're doing at your house, Adam. You've got a box of dirt.
Oh, I've got worm compost farm. I've got some worm bins, man. Yeah, doing the compost thing. Got some worms. It started out small, just one little thing. Pandemic, right? There was we were shut down, needed some shit to do, and the recycling wasn't coming anymore. So I was like, what am I going to do with some of this recycling? Started some compost, and then next thing you know, I go down the wormhole, the rabbit hole of what next thing you need to do to up your compost game is to invest in worms, be a worm farmer. Yes! So yeah, took it to that level. So for any folks who are local and it's time to start planting your garden and you need some compost, hit me up. I might have some. I'll trade some compost for tomatoes or something.
Do you make teas? Are you making teas? Do you plan on making teas and stuff like that with it?
Yeah, I mean, I've been
Worm
typically
tea?
doing compost tea, man. Compost tea. Yeah, like it's like
Yeah,
super
bro.
fertilizer.
It is.
So you don't drink it.
I mean, preferably not, but
Okay, that's
yeah.
what I was thinking. I was thinking there was some because I mean, there's like a coffee that you make out of beetle shit. So,
Yeah.
you know, I don't
Right.
know. I was maybe it was like a fancy compost tea.
Yeah. Yeah, you guys are talking shit to me. Y'all the ones talking about how you're gonna make shit tea.
Yeah.
So like, I don't know. I'm not trying to shit on your dreams. I just was making sure. DJ's into weird stuff, so I didn't know.
Yeah, like dude, I mean, it's true. That's very, very true. So, yeah, man, I've been trading the compost more like, hey, if you are into gardening and you want to like grow some vegetables and shit, I'll give you some compost to fertilize your plants. You hook me up with some of your produce. You know,
That's
how's that for
super,
some
man.
mutual aid?
Down there bartering with your. That rules, man.
If you want to get real nerdy and dirty with it, definitely look up like KNF or Jadam, Jadam, types of Korean natural farming, like IMO, looking at making IMOs, your indigenous microbial stuff. Dude, it's fantastic, and it will blow your brain out. It's just so the dirt it's just beautiful.
DJ, you said you were a dum-dum, and this was like the dum-dum hour, but it seems to me like you've got some brilliance, man. You know some shit that we don't know about. You got some like
You guys caught him. Took
heavy-duty
him
agricultural
Only
expertise.
40 minutes.
Well, I feel like I've had a lot of great teachers, and I've got a lot of great. I got access to a lot of great, cool people. I mean, like this side of the mountain. Once again, like this isn't coal country. This is our big enemy are the land developers. You know what I mean? But that doesn't make for any type like the people who live around here are beautiful, wonderful, very resourceful, creative, diverse people, and it's just been a pleasure, and it's like I said, I got a lot of great teachers in all the stuff that I do. Really.
Yeah, Drew, something that I wanted to make sure to ask you before y'all had to go is, you know, y'all had a comedy special on Amazon Prime that my wife and I watched. It was very enjoyable. Y'all should check it out. It was like To My Future Children, I'm Sorry, I think was the title of it.
I think I may have used the word kids just because it wouldn't fit on the goddamn title card. But other than that, you fucking nailed it. I think it's To My Future Kids, I'm sorry.
Okay, yeah.
You know what? Maybe it is children. Maybe I just stopped paying attention about the 15th goddamn email about that exact topic. So you're probably right, actually.
So is it? I hope I didn't stumble onto a sore spot. I was.
Oh, it wasn't sore at all for me. It was one of those things where I was like, I literally don't care. And they're like, we just want to do what you want to do. And I'm like, well, I told you, but you said it would. I don't care. Name it Fuck My Butt Mountain. I do not care. We'll run it against Fuck Dick Island. I don't care. But I am very proud of it. Thank you for shouting it out.
Yeah. How was it recording?
And it's on YouTube for free now, too.
Oh, it's on YouTube for free now. I paid for it, but y'all can go and watch it on YouTube for free.
Sucker.
You were doing mutual aid. You just didn't know it.
That's right. That's right.
For me and my
Support
family.
those who support us.
How was it? Doing that, getting that done. I think your first special, and how was the reception?
The reception's been great overall. We did have it behind a paywall, which was not what I wanted. But sometimes you go into business with one company, and you're on board with that company, and you know how that company thinks. But what you don't realize is that they're allowed to like sell their stake in what you're doing. Now you're in bed with two other companies that maybe you don't like as much, and that's like a Hollywood lesson that I learned. You know what I mean? This time. But as that's the only, frankly, negative part of it is just sort of losing control of what it is that you've done after you've created it, right? The rest of it, man, was incredible. We did it at Zany's Nashville. It's a great club. We shot, I think, like the company that we worked with on the production side, I think they shot 5 or 6 specials or sets that weekend. But I'm real proud of it. I think I put out like 33 minutes because I just couldn't figure out which joke I wanted to cut because I'm long-winded as hell. And it got a great reception. A lot of people talked to me about specific jokes. I think the top one, maybe remember it, maybe you won't, was a joke about how I stopped ignoring my mother on the phone and started actually listening to her and asking her questions.
I heard
Because
that
my mom
one in
likes to
person
play a
in
game.
Huntsville, actually.
Right. My mom likes to play a game called You Know Amanda. And everyone who has a Southern mom knows the name where they're like, Amanda, you know Amanda. Amanda. Used to be married to Shawn. Bill's daughter. Bill. You met him 2 times when you were 8 years old. How can you not remember Bill? Amanda and Shawn got a little girl named McKaylee. They spell it with 17 A's. You know them. And you don't know who any of these people are. The joke was about how during the pandemic, instead of blowing her off, I just started pretending like I knew them. So she'd keep telling me stories. And that particular joke, then it's this long story about Shawn working with the Mexican cartel because he got hooked on pain pills because of a whore named Allie. And that story, it's a mix of 2 very real stories my mother told me. And that resonated so much with people. And I think when you put something out, you probably want that more than anything. So that joke, which was very much about growing up Southern with a Southern mom, so many people were like, dude, that's my mom. That's hilarious. That's great. And that felt good. And then I have another joke about that whole excuse people say, or that line they use of like, how do I explain this to my kids? The joke was about how when I can't wait to have kids because I want to use that excuse. Because we're so used to hearing people say, how do I explain gay people kissing to my kids? Or how do I explain trans women to my kids? And I was like, I want to do that shit. I can't wait to pretend like I don't know how to explain shit to my kid, you know? And I go into this long thing about the shirts people wear, like in the South especially, you know, like don't tread on me, but it's like pro cop. It's got a thin blue line through it. It's like these are opposed to each other. That joke also got a good response. And I think when you put something out like that, that's what you're hoping for. I guess in the back of your mind, you're hoping to sell more tickets. You're hoping to extend your career. You want to, because what we do is so up and down, and it feels like there's only struggling comics and rich comics. It sure feels like sometimes those are the only options. So, of course, you put a special out, you want a big response. You want to be able to sell tickets. But I think the thing you really want is for people to be like, A, of course, I enjoyed it, but B, like, that resonated with me. I think I realized a long time ago, my goal in comedy was not to get anyone to agree with me. But when you laugh at something I also think is funny, it just feels like we're connected in that moment. Right. And so I couldn't be happier with it as far as all that goes.
Yeah, it definitely resonated with me. I really enjoyed it. Ryan and I were, I laughed at it hysterically at the comedy club when you were here. I heard both of those jokes in Huntsville and laughed at them again when I was watching them with my wife in the living room. And you mentioned that, and that was going to be my next question, is how much of that was true. And I was wondering about that because I'm sure since this is kind of like within your sphere, that you saw the
I know what you're going to ask.
The New Yorker article about Hassan Minhaj.
Damn it.
And so, like, hopefully there's not a New Yorker reporter listening right now. And they're going to find out that there's a second comedian who not everything that they say on the stage is exactly 100% as it happened in real life.
Yeah, I don't know if are you asking me my opinion on that?
I'm interested.
For people who don't know,
explain it, and then your reaction as it came out, and then as Hassan responded to it recently.
Yeah, so obviously, comedy is a small world. For the most part, I'm not gonna say I know everybody, but I definitely know someone who knows somebody most of the time. So I can't pretend like I have some sort of completely objective view of him or what went down. But generally speaking, what happened to everyone is that it came out that Hassan Minhaj had lied about some of his more famous bits or stories. Hassan Minhaj is a guy who was one of the temporary hosts of The Daily Show, and it's a pretty well-known secret, as they say, that he was going to be the next host. That is no longer happening. My first response when I heard, hey, they're trying to cancel Hassan Minhaj because he lied on stage, I had two thoughts simultaneously. One was everybody lies on stage, but two, I immediately, because I'm familiar with his work, was like, oh, but this might be different. So I guess for me, and I think this is what happened, this is how the world felt too. And I've got some friends out here, some comedians, so they're comedians who are also brown, and that's relevant because Hassan lied about being the victim of things. And I think that left a bad taste in people's mouth, because when Theo Von makes up what is clearly a lie about his lesbian neighbors riding dirt bikes when he was 8 years old in Louisiana, it's sort of like, as long as the butt of the joke isn't homophobia, no one's harmed by this. I think there's a sentiment that, like, if you're lying and making yourself both the victim and the hero of every goddamn story, there's just like a taste. It's not like, cancel this guy, we could never work with him again. It's almost like, oh, that's actually the only reason I like you, because it turns out you're not great at jokes. What you're great at is making yourself seem like a hero and a victim at the same time. And by the way, what I will say is the left or leftish people are the only ones doing that in comedy right now. There's plenty of motherfuckers who are making themselves the hero and the victim right now on the right. Hello, Dave Chappelle. And it seems like their fans don't give a flying fuck. They're right-wing fans. I mean, so like, don't let it act like Hassan Minhaj is the only one doing it. But I do think if you make your career on that kind of thing, like this horrible thing happened to me, and then it comes out, no, it didn't. It just makes people feel gross. Whereas if you say, Theo really didn't have like lesbian neighbors growing up who rode dirt bikes, it's that way. It's sort of like, yeah, man, I know. I just liked it. You know what I mean?
Right.
Does that make sense?
No, yeah, I think that totally makes sense. How did you feel after? Had you been able to see his response?
Yeah, I mean, look, man, one of the stories, for people who don't know the details, I think the details really matter here. So if you're going to make a judgment on what I'm saying or on him, you actually got to go find out what it was about. Right. One of them was, for example, he said he got powder in the mail, and then in the story that he told on stage, someone sent him anthrax, and he was holding his baby when he opened the letter. Well, now he's saying, well, the real story was someone did send me a letter and there was powder in it. But there's no proof of that because he didn't contact the FBI. There's no police report. So, like, for me, I'm going, so he's defending it now by saying a version of that did happen. And I'm kind of going, I don't know if it did. And lying about your baby getting anthraxed feels psychotic. So maybe you didn't do anything wrong, but since this feels psychotic, we're going to have to, like, not me, I don't really give a shit, but it makes sense that America's going, you got a short leash right now, dude. And let me tell you something else. I can't speak for everybody, but for the comics I've spoken to who have actually dealt with Islamophobia and racism, they're fucking furious.
Ah, interesting.
Because it makes their stories that did happen to them seem less believable now. And they sort of feel like their stories, which are true, didn't get them on The Daily Show because they didn't make up a fucking crazy lie about the FBI, because that's one of his other stories. That's the thing you also got to realize. These stories are crazy. Like, he had this one about the FBI infiltrating the mosque he went to in high school and then trying to, like, get him to do terrorism. That's a crazy thing to lie about. And then his defense is, well, that did happen to some brown people. And a lot of people are like, yeah, but not you, motherfucker. So it's just, there's a thing about lying in comedy or any art form where it's like, yes, but if at the end of the story you're the hero and or the victim, we feel slighted if it's not true. If at the story the person you made up is the hero, well, then that's a fucking tale. Thank you, Marvel. You know what I mean?
Right. Interesting.
No, I thought that made a lot of sense, actually. Appreciate you kind of walking me through that, because I have not followed it super closely. And like you said, I mean, to make an informed decision, you should really check out all of this. Like, check it out if you care, like if you give a shit.
Right.
Frankly, that's why I haven't read the New Yorker article or his response, because I'm not that interested. But I thought you were being very fair. Also on that note, I know in terms of being fair, you guys have been very, very generous with your time. And I just want to thank y'all again for joining us. We support those who support us, those who support the movement. Y'all have been very good to us and supportive. And, we're just a scrappy grassroots little project, a couple union militants who are really into unions, if you couldn't tell. And we really appreciate y'all's support. It means a lot. You've helped raise money for these striking workers and, just shown your solidarity in your own way. And that means a whole lot to folks.
Well, I mean, dude, I want to say thanks to y'all and all your listeners and for people who support stuff like this. As a kid who went to college and got a chance to be one of those overeducated douchebags, it happened because the railroad union, they tried to fire my dad a couple times, once because he was allegedly selling weed on the job, and the union having his back during all that. There's just been countless times in my life where the fact that my father had a union job, quite literally changed my life. And that sounds dramatic, but it's not. It quite literally changed my life and my family's life. So this stuff means a lot to me.
Well, Drew, it comes out. I appreciate it. And if there's ever anything that we can do for you, please let us know, and we'll be there if there's any way that we can be.
Hell yeah. Thanks, brothers.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, DJ.
Yep. Thanks. Same to you, DJ. Thank y'all so much. Holler at us if there's anything we can ever do for y'all.
DJ's got some.
How much longer y'all got? Are y'all done, or were we the last ones, or?
I think that so there was one other person that told me, and I won't say their name because I don't think that they're gonna make it because I haven't heard from them in like a couple of days since they said that they'd be able to come. So I'm kind of not thinking that they're gonna be able to make it. So if they don't come, then y'all will be it, and we'll be wrapping up. Is there anybody else in the Zoom, Adam?
Hell yeah! We love y'all. Thank you so much.
Is there anybody else in the Zoom in the waiting room right now, Adam?
No, there's not.
Yeah.
No, there's not.
So, y'all are going to be it.
Now, we still have to stay on until 5:30, don't we, to make it the 32 hours? I mean, I think we kind of do.
You're right. You're right. Yeah,
we've committed. We said 32 hours.
So what, you got an out?
Yeah. So we got an hour
and a half more?
Yeah, I mean, we do. Obviously, you guys are on your own schedule. You do.
Yeah, I've got to go eat, guys. But congratulations. I love y'all. Thank y'all so much for having us and doing this entire thing. It's amazing. It's always amazing to work with you guys, and I can't wait to do it again.
All right, brother. Y'all have
Big
a good one.
Same.
Hell yeah.
You too.
Bye, y'all.
Talk soon.
Appreciate it, guys. Thanks again. Yeah, really always appreciate those guys. They're hilarious. Willing to chip in for a good cause, so that really means a lot.
Yeah, absolutely.
You just saw a clip from the Valley Labor Report. We are live every Saturday morning from 9:30 a.m. till 12:30 p.m. And we pride ourselves on keeping all of our content free to everybody so that we can talk to as many working folks as possible. If you support the work that we're doing, you think that it's important, you think that it's good, then consider making a monthly contribution to the project, and you can do that on our website, tvlr.fm.